Ali Hash in the house. How are you? How's it going? I'm going to start in about 5 minutes, actually. Just have a look at... Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, just kind of keeping an eye on the markets. Just going to stream through my X, see if there's anything interesting here. Alt season hasn't been cancelled. They're just trying to make you think it's over. Oops. Funny. Let's save that shit. Maybe. Who knows? UFD? Yeah, I can. Remind me, yeah? I can, yeah. ETH pump is inevitable. Alt season is inevitable. This is not the time to quit. Good. It's quite funny shit. Market makers manipulating. Yeah, it's possible. Everything is possible in crypto. ETH hourly. Ooh, I like that. Oh, let's have a look at this one. This is interesting. Fuck. What's wrong with this? Oh my god. Anything else interesting here? Bitcoin potential break. Volume is missing. Oops. Shit. That's not good. Volume is missing. Yeah. That's scary. This guy gets a lot of views, huh? Let's see what people are saying about this. A breakout without volume is like a cake without frosting. Now isn't the right time, but the market makers are about to dump. Expect this pattern to continue until the second half of February. Break to what direction? The moon? Oh my god. Oh, I like that. What was that? What was this shit? Can't really tell. Looks like she's going higher. This is massive. BlackRock bought. That was yesterday. $276 million worth of Ethereum yesterday. This is massive. I think that is pretty massive. If you fade me, you will lose money. Simple. This is bearish. Decreasing prices, decreasing volume. I wouldn't say that's bearish, actually. If it was increasing volume, decreasing prices, that would be bearish. But we might be onto something. Let's have a look at this guy. If Bitcoin goes to 77k area or more or less, altcoins will dump another 30 to 70%. That's true. I'll be buying XRP, Doge, ADA, SOL, and some other strong coins. 77k will be the bottom. If he thinks that 77k is the bottom, then it's probably much lower because it's always lower than you think. Always lower than you think. That's the thing. It's always higher than you think. It's always lower than you think. It's never what you think. So there's a lot of things here. Oh, he's got another one here. It's quite interesting. Yeah, well, it's a lot of interesting posts to see what people are doing. We're printing so hard, it's not even funny. Right. Eric Trump signals bullish outlook on Bitcoin. Let's have a look at that. Feels like a great time to enter BTC World Liberty 5. Sounds like a distribution event. When you got all these people shelling it, shelling. Distribution. Right, that's enough. Cactus Cake, nice to have you with me. Ali Hash in the house. How many people are here? Oh, I can't see. View docs. Stats. Control panel. That's what I want to see. Where's my control panel? There it is. 2 viewers. Okay, well, that could increase. Cactus Cake, you're always bearish, so why are you asking me? You're like mega bearish, aren't you? You're like the bearish king. All right. So if you haven't watched already, then I do a real kind of detailed breakdown of my view on what's happening here. I did it yesterday. I didn't cut a video yesterday. I just cut it today. It makes no difference. It's the same thing because it's all higher time frame analysis. And this will give you my thoughts on what's happening in Bitcoin. Ultimately, so if you want to go and have a look, it's 55 minutes. It's a bit long, so I don't really expect people to waste their time if they're not interested. Definitely not for the faint-hearted, because I go in detail into the why of why I think certain things could happen and the way they could happen. And obviously it's not financial advice, it's just an opinion. I have no idea, never have had any idea. Sometimes I think it's going up, it goes down. Sometimes I think it's going down, goes up. So who knows? Like, really, it's fuck knows. But that being said, it's logical, and I like logic. I like being logical about certain things. Effectively, what I was talking about in my stream yesterday, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. I can kind of recap if you want. There's only a couple of you here, so it's not like you it's not a repeat. Basically what my idea was a Wyckoff distribution. Okay, so I'm just kind of mapping it out based on what I'm seeing in the chart. I don't know, I'm not 100%. Possibly, it's always a possibility. Possibly we've just dipped here, which is here. Okay, and what I would like to see now is grinding price action until we can kind of come into that higher bit for a final kind of bullish push, and then down, and then down, and then down. That's kind of where I am at right now. That could signal alt season, to be honest with you, and it's not a real alt season. It's a fake alt season potentially. I think right now people are still a little bit bearish, and so that makes me bullish. Just does. Just because I see it. I've got people messaging me and saying, oh, it's going down, what should I do, what should I do? I think when you get bearish, then it's usually bullish, and when you get bullish, it's usually bearish. You kind of have to inverse your mental state when it comes to crypto. Okay, and you sometimes, when you're wrong, you miss the move, but sometimes when you're right, you'll catch the move. You know, like it's better to be safe than sorry. And in this situation, even though I see a lot of people talking about altcoins about to begin, it's the best time to be in crypto, it might be, or it might not. It's just hard to know, because the possibility of this playing out is ever increasing, especially as the guy said, that with low volume. We are in oversold kind of territory right now, so I don't think we're just going to go down. It doesn't really make any sense for us to just go down. It never does. It's not, we're in a range, we're stuck in a range. Yeah, that's what people need to really understand about the price. We haven't lost the range, we're still in a range. We've come into the golden pocket. We're finding support off the golden pocket. I was talking about this yesterday. We haven't yet found support off the point of control, and so that really does need to happen. I think the market, once the market sees that Bitcoin is finding support from the point of control, then the market will actually start to become more bullish, whereas right now the market isn't seeing that kind of price action. So the market is generally right. Yeah, market represents people, and when the majority of people are feeling lower, it's usually reflected in the price action. That being said, we haven't yet lost this golden pocket area. We are in the range. We're in the middle of the range. Yeah, so you could go up, it could go down, like who knows. When you're in the middle of the range, it could go up, it could go down. Usually when you hit the bottom, you kind of swing back to the top. Usually, yeah, when you hit the top, you swing back to the bottom. So this top here, we've had two failed auctions. That's a rejection, that's a failed auction. This is a mammoth failed auction, and this is a minuscule failed auction. We've had like real rejection from the highs. We're getting a little bit of a rounding top type situation here. Okay, it's very clear to see. Could it just go down? Yeah, sure could. Everything's possible. Crypto, welcome to crypto land, where everything is possible. Okay, could it go up? Sure could. Again, everything's possible, but it's always a balance of probabilities. It's always about probabilities, and it's never 100%. It's never a certain thing. Okay, I do think though that we've had a pretty nice bounce from the lows with volume. It's not a dead cat bounce. If it was a dead cat bounce, then you would only really get to 38%, 382 from the bounce. And we've clearly cleared the 382 without any difficulty. You see, the 382 is basically here, and we've cleared it, and we've actually found support of the reverse test of the 382. So if it was a dead cat bounce, that was a dead cat, then you'd kind of struggle to get past the 382. You'd go right back down, and then you'd probably go right down again like that. That would be a dead cat type situation where we finally entered some kind of mega skew or mega minuscule or mega bull bear market. Okay, like a mini bear market or whatever. I don't see that at the moment, so therefore I'm not really thinking that. Okay, we've had a real kind of strong bounce, which has also managed to take this lower high for a higher high on the 4-hour time scale. This has come all the way back down to roughly about 50% of the pullback. So that's kind of what I like to see. I like to see the high taken and a pullback all the way down to 50%. We've hit it twice. Yeah. So I would argue that this is correct. I would argue that this is exactly what you want to see in a V-shaped recovery type situation. That's the V. Yeah. This is the pullback. This is the support level now, 50 fib. And it looks like we're trying to work our way up. It's not obvious. Okay, it still feels bearish. It always does. If you're not confident about V-shaped recoveries, then just Google it. V-shaped recoveries and patterns. Pattern, isn't it? Patterns can fail, so it's good to kind of. It's good to. Oh, again, there's no real great. There's two types of V-shapes. This is the bullish one, where it takes the high and comes back to the neckline. The other one is a 50% pullback, like this one. See that? That's a V-shaped recovery too. although that doesn't take the high, so I wouldn't really call that a V-shaped recovery. It has to take the high. That's really important, to take the high. So none of these are real V-shapes because they don't take the highs. And most of them, let me just do it on crypto. Let's see if it's better. Search here. Nope. I should do it. I should create some charts, some ideas, some descriptions. I should create some educational content because obviously you can't really learn much from this shit. Yeah, they're really bad, eh? They're all bad. Everything is shit. So that's probably why people get wrecked because there's a lot of shit and none of it really works. Shit recovery. Let's just try that. Learn. Let's see, learn. Let's see if it gives us a little bit of knowledge. Google is shit. Maybe Grok. Grok help us. What is a V-shaped recovery trading setup? All right, doesn't really help. Okay, so fuck it, pointless. But anyway, for me, we can't really lose this area here. It's also the back test of the golden pocket, which is held as support. Yeah, if you start losing that, I wouldn't really. Oh fuck, this is shit. I was fucked. Let's go back. Let's finish this. I'd be like concerned. I'd be concerned that we're going lower. Yeah, if we start losing the 50 fib on the V-shaped recovery, I'll be concerned that we're actually going low. We start looking really droopy, and that's not what we want. So a corrective pullback like this is fine. Coming back to 50 fib is fine. It's part of the plan. It's part of what we want to see. Yeah, you want to see that. You don't want to not see that. That was the higher high. That was the lower high. This is the lower low. We need to put in a higher low here. Then we need to take out that high. That would be a change of market structure. Again, you could have another kind of V, take out the high, and then you could kind of fall back to 50 for a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders, get people really bullish, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, it's kind of where I'm at right now with the price. It's looking really miserable, huh? It's really miserable because the price doesn't really want to go up. It's what I see happening is that it's kind of grinding up. So when it's going up, people are buying, and then they're underwater, and then they sell, and then it goes back up, and then they're buying, and it's like hard, yeah, because we're not in any kind of impulsive mega move. We're in a very corrective. This is the whole thing from the top down is pretty corrective. Even this drop was quite corrective. It was just kind of clearing a lot of liquidity, finding support, clearing some gaps, and testing lower prices. It's all it really was. I'm not looking. Could that be a wave one, two? Yeah, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. It could be, and then you could get another kind of impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could totally happen. Then people will be like, oh, this is it. This is the move. Buy, 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 buy. Yeah. I think really that's too late. You want to, if there's going to be another move up, you want to catch it kind of here, not up there. If it wants to go up. But obviously when the price is going down, people are very hesitant to buy at the lows of any kind of price action, and then when the price is up, they like to buy, and then the price often fucks them. So what I'm still thinking, it's going to be a hard to see what to play this. If you're trading, it's better to be in spot, better to dollar cost average in, better to take profit as you can when and as you can. And not get too sentimental about higher prices. I think that's what people are scared of. They're scared of missing out. It's a bit of FOMO going on. But right now, in this current context, my idea is still valid. So until it becomes invalidated, I'm still going to kind of stick to it. If it becomes invalidated, I lose money. If it's valid, I make money. You know, it's really, that's all it is. It's about going with your ideas and seeing, and it's not really a trade plan, is it? But if I start seeing the price kind of grinding, kind of finding a little bit of strength right now, I can see that we're above the point of control, so I'm not bearish. We haven't back tested it completely perfectly for a real nice test, another test, but I do see that we've kind of finding support slightly lower down on the golden pocket, and that's good. I like that. We're above the point of control. I like that too. I think that, generally speaking, for me, that's quite bullish. Doesn't mean we're not going to go down to test it again, and it certainly doesn't mean that we don't go down to shake out a bunch of people if BTC wants to do that. You know, it's possible. So that's why I'm kind of focusing my attention on daily closes. Oop, have I lagged? Is there lag? Dropped frames. No. I think I've lagged out. No, I'm not getting drop frames. But look, my trading view is fucked. What's going on? It's a bit annoying. Whatever. I like to look at the daily closes. I'm not really kind of too interested in the lower price action, the lower time frame price action, because it's quite deceitful, it's quite deceptive, because it's so volatile, it's so up and downy. And right now, looking at the daily close, I wanted yesterday to be green, it was red, but it was okay because it closed higher than the previous day low. It closed above the golden pocket. I was okay with that, and that's why I said in my Discord up, and it went up. It was a good place to buy, a good time to buy, a good place to buy, and it's gone up. I do feel also that ETH is showing a little bit of strength, which is what I like to see. So ETH has been showing extreme weaknesses, hasn't it? And even today, ETH BTC has pulled back significantly. But yesterday on ETH BTC, we got a bullish engulfing candle. Okay. And I like that. I like that. We've got a capitulation candle. We've got a push down. We've got a buyback, a bullish engulfing buyback. Now we're getting the back test. With these bullish engulfing candles, the price could go all the way down to the bottom of the candle to find support. It doesn't have to just go straight up. But I'd like to see how the price closes today. I don't know if I want to see a weak close on this candle, to be honest with you. A weak close would be basically underneath there, underneath the top of that candle body. That would be a weak close. And so if that happened, I would be actually thinking to myself, this isn't as strong as I hoped. It might be still going down. But if we get a nice good close where the price, if it's a red close and it just closes above there, oops, then I'll probably be thinking up again. And what we're creating here is a little bit of market structure. It takes time. It takes time to create market structure. I think possibly we have to start putting in some kind of higher highs, higher lows here. I've kind of mapped out these red wicks, thinking maybe that's the beginning, because especially since we're at the point of control now of this local range on ETH BTC. And so naturally, next thing I want to see is continuation, reversal here, if possible. And again, the problem is that if you do go lower, it's going to start looking really bearish, and then you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle to get out of there. You know, we kind of want to, just especially since we've had a capitulation event on ETH, that this is a capitulation candle. The wick is bigger than the body, and it's gone all the way down to test some kind of higher time frame mega support. Here you can see big test of this December 20 low. Found the higher low here, which is nice to see. And we've got a really nice volume in this capitulation candle. The weekly time frame on ETH BTC is going to be very telling, because I do want to see this candle close higher than the previous week low. I do want to see that. That's really important for me. That basically, this is the previous week low. Let me just mark that out. Previous week low. Previous week low. I should just, I'll just write it out. It'll be easier to understand. Something like that. And so we're still not there, huh? We're still not there. We're still kind of, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens by the end of the week. It could end green, you know, who knows? Who knows how this weekly candle is going to end? When I look at the 3-day candle, it was nice. It was a very nice candle because of exactly the things that I say. It closed higher. 3-day candle closed higher than the previous candle low. Yeah. And ideally you want to end up with a green candle and the bullish engulfing here. Now in the next few days, it would be really nice if we could 3-day close up above that candle high, but who knows? We have to see what happens. Whatever happens these next 3 days, wherever this red candle ends, if it ends red, and you can still buy it all the way up to the neckline, if it closes higher, then we're going higher, you know. So we have to see how these candles play out, how these close. At the moment, I'm not feeling bearish, just because we've got a really nice bullish engulfing candle. We're getting a really nice pullback, potentially for up. But again, they can be quite deceptive, these bullish engulfing. We've had bullish engulfings here where the price has failed, you know, and then we've had bullish engulfings here where the price is pumped, you know. So we have to be aware that it's not 100%. Nothing is 100% in crypto. This is what I'm kind of looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Bullish engulfing here, and you got this next day, the red pullback. In this circumstance, it actually closed lower, so it was actually, I wasn't crazy about this close. I guess you could argue it was fine because it closed above that previous pivot low, and then it pumped and 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 it pumped. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at with ETH BTC. I do think that right now ETH is sucking the liquidity out of a lot of coins, minus Bitcoin necessarily, but it will, potentially it will. And the reason why I know that is because I posted this on Discord last night. When you're looking at Solana Ethereum, you've got a 3-day candle, which is, it's pretty bearish. Huh? It's a really bearish 3-day candle. It's gone up to the highs and it's come close low. That's really bearish to go all the way up to the highs there and close lower. Okay, very bearish candle, and it's a high volume candle too. So I would argue that right now the liquidity is going back to ETH from a lot of coins, and looking at Solana, you could feel bullish about Solana, and you know, I'm not saying it's bearish, because Solana has really strong upward momentum. But at the moment, if you look at the way the price is behaving on Solana, we've fallen into the value area of this kind of higher range against ETH for the second time here. We've had one rejection, we've fallen down, and now we've fallen again. So I would consider this to be a sign that the value is potentially reversing and it's going back into ETH. I'm not 100%. Because, you know, Solana's mental, it could always just do that. But I think that the highlight or the spotlight will be on ETH. If Solana against ETH does manage to find acceptance into the value area here, then there's going to be a lot of value transferred to ETH. And the next kind of target will be the point of control here. Okay, that's a big drop on value from Solana to ETH for about 20%. And it just means the spotlight is changing a little bit if that happens. If that happens, the spotlight is different. It doesn't mean Solana's going to go down. It just means that ETH will pump. And every other token is just going to struggle against ETH effectively. And so you kind of want to, if that starts to happen, you want to be in ETH, basically. You'd want to be in ETH. If everything starts to, if all the liquidity starts to flow to ETH, including ideally Bitcoin, to be honest with you, Bitcoin is the one. And we're still here trying to figure out if this is the bottom or not. We've had a capitulation candle. We've tested a higher time frame support level. It could go down for another test just like that, or you could get a pump. You could get a pump because we found the low. The market has found the low. Yeah, that's what the market wants to do. It wants to find the low, high volume into a low, a previous low which holds as a higher low. It's kind of the price. Usually when that happens, it doesn't tend to just go down straight away. It tends to go up first to find the high, in this context, if this happens, I don't necessarily think we're just going to go up. It never does. It's never that easy. So kind of, you know, context is key. You're probably looking to kind of maybe go up to the golden pocket. You know, that would be a natural place for the price to find resistance, you know, and then we have to see what happens next, and we have to see where ETH lands as well, because this is really important for ETH at the moment. For ETH to go up, it has to kind of, it needs a little bit of help from Bitcoin, and I'll be keeping an eye on how this plays out. Then you could go down for another attack of the lows. That's how you could potentially bottom out. I don't know. Could it go up? Could it go down? Who knows? Yeah, we just got to keep an eye on this and see how this plays out, to see how this bottom forms. The momentum is to the downside, and that's what I've been saying in basically every stream. The ETH BTC momentum is to the downside. We've put in another low, so if we do get a little bit of a pump, probably the golden pocket here, the 50 simple moving average, this yellow line, is probably a good place to drop again and find resistance. And basically, as we try to reverse the momentum here, it's going to be pretty hectic. It's going to be pretty choppy. Yeah, we have to reverse the momentum. This is the weekly momentum. You see the momentum is strong to the downside. There was no chance. ETH had no chance against this downtrend. Yeah, there was no way that ETH was going to be able to reverse it. There was not enough volume to push it higher, which is what was required for there to be a chance of reversing this. And ultimately, until we see that, there's going to be no alt season. There's no alt season happening until ETH bottoms out again. People don't understand it, but it's the reality. You'll get shitty memes pump because people get really greedy, and that's a kind of gambling, it's like a bit of a casino. But the reality is we're not going to get what we want until ETH bottoms out against Bitcoin. It's just a reality. Now, what I'm seeing here are the beginnings of structure forming after a capitulation. So I'm not feeling bearish. I think if it was bearish, we would have just kind of fallen down again. Yeah, there'd be no interest. It wouldn't just, I don't know. I don't really think that this is bearish. I think it's forming a little bit of structure that when we go up, then we have a little bit of structural market structure to find support on for continuation, if that's what the price wants to do. So again, when you make a low, you're not now thinking lower, you're thinking higher to put in a high. Lower high, whether it's a lower high or a higher high, no one knows. But once you put in a low, now you're looking to put in a lower high. In this context, a lower high. But you know, if you get enough push, you could actually take out that high and put in a higher high. Then you've got a V-shaped recovery there. Then you could easily fall right back down, find support, and then you could actually, there would be a chance for ETH to go all the way up to the high of the range. That would get the whole world bullish, because then you'd be looking at a higher time frame inverse head and shoulders type pattern. I wouldn't be bullish. I would be extremely bearish if we actually ended up at 4K. I wouldn't be looking to buy. I would be looking to, at the very least, take profit or sell. Sell at the highs, buy at the lows. That's kind of that's the right way of approaching the market. So if you're expecting a breakout, buy now, but don't try to go for a breakout right at the point where you potentially could sell or should sell. Yeah. And the whole market will be saying, oh, this is an inverse head and shoulders. Not really. It's not an inverse head and shoulders, because guess what? We've put in a lower low here. It's not an inverse head and shoulders. If it was an inverse head and shoulders, you have to put in a higher low. So it's not an inverse head and shoulders. So whatever people say, they're going to say it. So I'm just pre-warning everyone that it's going to happen if and when it happens. All right. So it always feels really disastrously bearish before it becomes bullish. Every time you buy, the price goes down. It's miserable. Okay. People are worried that they're going to buy and it's just going to capitulate or whatever, or, you know, these are real concerns. So as I always say, the best strategy will always be to dollar cost average in. The latest trends. TRVL is a dead coin. I'm surprised you still have it in your video title. Wow. That's harsh words. Harsh words. Potentially truthful. Potentially truthful. Yeah, well. You know, just because it's a quote-unquote dead coin doesn't mean we can't turn it around, you know, doesn't mean we can't fix things and make things reverse. You know, like, why is it a dead coin? Why is it a dead coin? That's a question that we have to answer, that question. And I'm going to answer that question. I have been trying to answer that question, but let's just talk about the other charts first before we get to TRVL. I don't want to kind of spend so much time on TRVL, just simply because it's crazy. Yeah, it's hard to talk about it right now, but you know, why not? You know, I talk about it when it's in the highs, I'll talk about it when it's in the lows. It's not a big deal. All right, so when it comes to Solana, so Ali Hash, this is quite interesting potentially for you, because you're a Solana degen. I'm wondering if Solana is in a kind of a massive diamond formation here. I am wondering that. Okay, I'm not 100%. I'll be more convinced about my idea when it happens, after it happens. Yeah, I've seen these kind of A frames before, these A shapes, and they're usually at the apex of a diamond pattern. Very sharp up, very sharp down. Now actually the down was less sharp in a sense, because it came down and down and down, whereas the up was straight up. Okay, but I've seen these kind of formations before, and when generally speaking, when I see an up and down like an A, it could be a V or an A, it doesn't matter, at a particular place where the price could reverse, then I start thinking diamond. All right, it's a very nice pattern to trade if you catch it early enough. And in this context, potentially we have, I don't know, because I think potentially we have tapped the bottom here, and then logically I'm thinking to myself, let's go up to the top, but actually I'm not thinking higher than that. I'm really not. We've had a third rejection from all-time highs. The next time we go up, people are going to sell. People who didn't manage to sell 266 or 2 whatever, they will sell. Yeah, they're not going to wait. Yeah, it's just the way it works. It's just like, you've had one chance to exit, you've had second chance to exit, you have to take the third chance to exit. Yeah, because a lot of people are in heavy profits on Solana, and ideally what you want to do is kind of try and get out effectively. I'm not convinced about this we're going to the moon just yet, for reasons that I've explained in my other video. But I honestly just think that BTC needs to test the the previous range all the way down to 70k. I think there should be a test, and until I see that, and then when I start seeing kind of slight weakness, I think if Bitcoin wanted to go up, Solana would be pumping, without a doubt. The market isn't in that mental state anymore. The market now is in a slight reversal state, and people are very hesitant. And so actually, even though as the price go up, you're going to get some people still be moonboy about it, but the reality is a lot of people are going to start de-risking their positions. If it means 50% out, if it means all out, just wait and see. That's what people are going to be doing, because it's just not going up, is it? It's struggling, huh? It looks like it's struggling. Yeah, I don't look at this and think, oh my god, this is going up. I don't see consolidation here. I see a topping formation potentially. Now you could call it some kind of rising wedge, yeah, or it could be a diamond pattern, or it could be a monthly time frame swing failure. We've had kind of 2 swing failures of the highs potentially, and that makes me actually hesitant. Yeah, now could it just smash up and go up into the moon? Of course it could. Could this be, could we be really smart and buy here and then see it go? Yeah, you could. Yeah, it's possible, but I'm not seeing it right now. Okay, so Trump will make sure SOL is going to start strong as it's an online chain for his meme. No. I'm just tired of this kind of Trump is going to do this, or Trump is going to do that, or Trump is going to do that. He's done a lot of stuff and crypto is struggling. So I just think the problem is that a lot of people have made money and now they're scaling out. They're taking opportunities to de-risk, yeah. Mainly because the stock markets are at all-time highs too. And generally speaking, you get a crash before the price starts to go up higher in every circumstance. In Solana's circumstance, I'm still more inclined to think that we top out here and we have a little kind of flash crash or a mini kind of down and shake out a lot of this kind of leveraged, ultra leveraged liquidity. Whoever's leveraged at $9 or $8 or $15 or whatever is comfortably sitting in healthy profits. I think the market's going to put them, going to try and not liquidate, but maybe just try and flush them out. If they're right, you see here, you see we're putting higher lows on the monthly time frame. The next time we take this low, you could get a capitulation candle, a massive flush. That would be the opportunity in my opinion. So Ali Hash is saying, I'll send you a link to check analysis on how Binance. Here, let me send it here and I'll have a look at it here. I'll make you admin. Send it here. Send it here. Anytime. Anytime. I hear what you're saying. I'm not discounting anything you're saying. Yeah. I just think that I don't like this. I don't like a diamond pattern formation. I just don't like it. I like it actually, but I don't like it. I like it because I can trade it. I don't like it if I'm trying to hold for higher. And the real confirmation of what I think could happen is if and when we get to around 260 or 250, 60, whatever, that area. Initially we got this golden pocket to contend with. Let me have a look at your link. What am I looking at? A great analysis A great crypto thesis, Solana will disrupt. Look, he wrote that in December the 6th, right? And he's probably right. Yeah, I'm not going to read it now. I'll probably get Grok to summarize it. Let's have it. Actually, let's get Grok to summarize it. Let's have a look. Solana launched into, oh god, it's too long. Shorter summary. Fuck no. Oh my god, what a piece of shit. Short summary of this. Solana faced significant technical issues in 2022, which raised concerns about its reliability. 2022, Solana was hacked. SEC filed a lawsuit against Solana in 2023. Visa integrated Solana for USDC payments in 2023. Signaling acceptance, Solana's market cap peaked at 78 billion in 21, driven by NFT craze, but plummeted to 4.5 billion after the FTX bankruptcy, showing market volatility. No. That doesn't sound like a summary. Let's go to the original. Oh, it is. It's the same one. Honestly, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just going to be very technical about what I'm seeing. I think this is a good place to buy because it's the back test of the value area high of this lower range. If we find support here for a higher low, then we're going up, right? But honestly, just what I'm looking at now is a diamond pattern, and in the next few weeks we'll know, because if we go up there and we reject, doesn't have, I don't know about when, but I don't know about the when. But if we reject somewhere here and start going back down, then this is a classic diamond. A lot of people are saying it's head and shoulders. I just see it as a diamond pattern because of this A-frame in the middle, which is synonymous to a diamond pattern. Confirmation of this idea would be to go up, come down, find weakness, and then drop right down like that. And then you'll be in a classic diamond shape. If that happens, then your buy the dip opportunity is going to be down here. Basically, that's where you want to catch the Solana dip. Yeah, you want this to play out, and then you want to just find support somewhere here. It could be a capitulation, or it could be something else. I think that's what you want to see. You want to see the price come down, just find support. If it's a low, it doesn't really matter. If it's a high, low, it's fine. Whatever happens, this is kind of the area that I'm thinking for. And I think Bitcoin has to also find support. Then you could find yourself back into the range. That's bullish. Find support back into the range. That's a failed auction, but hey, we can go for another attack. You know, and if you get back into that range, then we're going to the moon. And for me, in terms of price action, that makes a lot more sense than this. Yeah, a lot more sense. It makes more sense to me to see that, to see what I'm suggesting. We're seeing some bearish divergence on this weekly time frame. You see high there, lower high on the CVD, on the MACD. It's bearish. It basically saying lack of interest. It's low volume rise. And actually just looking at this previous high, this is a higher high there, that's a lower high there, this is bearish too. So we have a bit of bearishness on our indicators. I'm getting the bearishness here as well. So there's bearishness, just be aware of that, and it's going to trash all your altcoins, 100%. There's no doubt about it. And it just, let me go to SLERF now, just quickly. Oh, you want me to have a look at the other one? Let me have a look at it. It might be classic manipulation, but you don't want to be manipulated. You know, like I've scaled back on my SLERF position. just simply because we took out the all-time low, right? This is what you want for a sign of strength. If it's going to happen, that's a sign of strength, and we have to kind of get back into the range. We have to take out those highs. We don't really have the volume. We've got a little bit of volume here, better than most, but we don't really have the volume. And potentially, I don't know, huh? I've got a long position there. Potentially, we're just going to work our way up to back test the value area, or maybe this level or something. Potentially, that's kind of, it might be quite impulsive, yeah, because we came down quite fast. It could be quite impulsive, but that'll be an exit opportunity for a lot of people who are trapped, rather than a buy opportunity for people who are bullish. If we go up like this, it'll be an exit liquidity opportunity. I don't know. It's too risky, huh? It's too risky because we put in another all-time low, yeah? It's too risky because if we see a Solana crash, then this is going much lower, okay? People will dump their tokens regardless of whether it's at 10 cents or 8 cents or 14 cents. It doesn't really matter. In the same way that they dumped here, yeah? This doesn't exude confidence in Solana, and it's just the reality of what we're experiencing. You can't, I don't want to just sound bearish for this for no reason. I'm just kind of, possibly we're going all the way down to much lower prices, dude. And so just be aware of that. I think the next opportunity to potentially get out, if you're trapped, will be that trend line probably. So we might not even get higher. Could fake out, but you've got quite a nice confluence here for the bottom of this wick. You've got these kind of lows. They're going to potentially be tested for a back test with this trend line. If you see the price coming up back up to about there, I think for most people, you see, if anyone's long here, like I'm long, I'll be taking profit. You have to, and people who are feeling trapped, maybe someone tried to catch the dip, they'll be looking to de-risk, and you could end up right back down, okay? And that's just, I just want you to be aware of what's happening. SLERF can't physically go under 4 cents. Well, then 4 cents it is. That's the 1-to-1 here. But actually, I'm kind of keeping an eye on this lower trend line off these two lower pivots. So we've got a 1-to-1 here. We've come to the 618 off that trend-based extension to here. That's where we found support. But this, we haven't found support. This is what I'm trying to say. This isn't a finding support. This is a wash. Yeah. So just this isn't going to hold. So I think the next opportunity will be an exit if it's given. Yesterday we closed lower, so it's quite a bearish close. I want to see how we close today. At the end of the day, we'll know. If we close slightly higher with a kind of a green candle, that would be nice. Then we can have another green candle. Then we could maybe get out of here temporarily, like a temporary relief. But I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling bullish on this token at the moment. Okay, just because it's at the all-time, it's put in an all-time low. Any token that puts in an all-time low is bearish. Yeah. And until we get a market structure change, until we get some kind of signs of strength, until we get this a nice bottoming pattern, every trade here is going to be a scalp effectively. It's not going to be a long buy and hold. You can always dollar cost average in all the way down to 4 cents. You could totally do that, but wouldn't it be better to just wait for it to bottom out at 4, 5, 6 cents, wherever it does, and then buy on the first sign of strength, on the market structure change? Wouldn't that be better? Probably better to just wait. Yeah, put some volume here. Maybe the value area will shift. Solana comes into support, like real support, not kind of trying to get through the highs, finding support somewhere at the Solana lows, seeing where all these meme coins finally land. Yeah, do we get an alt season now that takes this up? Yeah, we could. We certainly could. I'm almost expecting it, which is why I say we could probably grind up on crypto for the next couple of weeks or so, where Bitcoin shows a little bit of strength, and then the rest of it, it's kind of like it would be a little bit like a relief rally actually for crypto if Bitcoin goes up and a lot of these altcoins get some kind of relief. But that relief rally is not bullish. Yeah, it's, if you get an up now, it's not bullish. Any up now is not bullish. Yeah, just bear that in mind. This can't be bullish until you change market structure, at least on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, market structure unfortunately you have to go up all the way up to 18 cents. Literally, SLERF would have to go all the way up to 18 cents somehow. And then the actual entry would be the pullback. That's what you want. You kind of want to see it. I mean, even then, just the way, I know the way SLERF moves, it kind of over moves to the upside and to the downside. I do like the volume here. I think this is a capitulation candle similar to this in some way, so that I think there is some up to be had, but it's going to be short-term ups. It's not going to be long-term ups, because you could end up in a situation like this where it goes up but it still makes a lower low, and actually at the moment we have this kind of strong downtrend line. The momentum is strongly to the downside, and as time passes, these moving averages trend down, and so naturally as time passes, if it takes a little bit of time for this to come up, it would just be an exit. Honestly, it'll be an exit for most people. So just bear in mind, I know you're heavily in this, you're probably underwater, maybe you're not, I don't know. Just bear in mind that the next up will be an opportunity to de-risk or short your position completely and don't think about it. 100% short your position on USD. When I say 100%, I mean your 100% of your USD value. You short your SLERF. Don't even think about it. But you can't short now. You'd have to short as the price comes up and finds resistance. Okay, you couldn't short now. It's ridiculous. You wouldn't short now. This is a good place to long, but then obviously if the price starts to go up, you have to short. You have no choice. Otherwise you could risk further downside. I don't adhere to everyone's moon boy mentality. I'm not in that on that page. Yeah, I think Solana is forming a higher time frame diamond formation, like I've explained, and I still think there's an up to be had. Yeah, and that's going to get everyone really bullish. Great, let's make some money, but let's not hold on to our positions and not take profit. Take your fucking profit, de-risk at the highs. Solana gets back up to the golden pocket is going to be the prime opportunity. If it overshoots and it pushes higher, probably up to 263 to 786, that everyone's going to be so mega bullish on Solana. If that does that, they're going to be, guess what people are going to be thinking? We're going to the moon, we're going to the moon, we're going to the moon, we're going to the moon. Moon boys are going to come out in force, and actually that's going to be a great opportunity to de-risk, to exit, to take profit, to potentially short. I wouldn't necessarily short just into that rise. I'd wait for a sign of weakness, would in this context would be to lose the golden pocket, come back into the value area high, and then you'd kind of have a real nice invalidation. If it did go up, it'd be a fake out, and then you could short, maybe with a local market structure change. You know, that's actually a shorting opportunity, and that shorting opportunity could nicely take your Solana price all the way down to $110. You know, imagine if you could short Solana somewhere around 240, 250, 260, and the price of Solana dropped all the way to $100. That's your payday, isn't it? That's your big payday, not buying here or wherever here and trying to go for 400, which is more probable in the context of what we're talking about. I think the probability is shorting the highs to go down than to try and long the highs to go up. So I'm just talking about a balance of probabilities. The only way that I would change my opinion is this, and I'll just explain it. I'll put this into another group so we can kind of Hi Ronnie, how's it going? Yo yo yo. The only other way that I would change my opinion, this is the only other way, there's no other way. I'm not going to change my opinion until I see this. Yeah. Two things, one of two things. And actually, I don't even think this is right. I want to see consolidation here. I think that's still bearish because we're consolidating. It's probably a distribution. I really just want to see a flip, a real flip of the all-time high. And then I want to see bullish divergences form in some kind of consolidation. Like a flat correction, basically. Impulsive move with a flat correction. If I start seeing that and I start seeing some bullish divergences there, yeah, then I would be thinking, okay, great, let's go up. If I start seeing that, then yeah, we have a chance. But it's just so unlikely that I'm not even going to think about it. It's so unlikely that's going to happen. If it happens, it happens, you know, like whatever. I'll take it as it comes. Doesn't mean I can't long now and take profit here. And then if it does do that, then guess what I can do? I can re-enter. I don't care about the minuscule whatever this was that I missed, because the risk was too great. It was too much risk to not take profit, not to short exit here. You don't have to short. Like I said, shorting is generally better when you see signs of weakness. So in this context, above the golden pocket, losing the golden pocket back into the range would be the perfect short entry for, and then you're in a diamond and then you're fucking going down. Yeah, there's no hope then. You put in a lower low, no one's interested. People then see the diamond. When they see the diamond, they're not going to long until they see the pattern play out, which would be down here. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at now with Solana, and it corresponds with my Bitcoin analysis, which I did in the video yesterday, which I just posted today. Yeah, I take some time to explain the why. Have a look at it. I mean, that's 50 minutes long, and I kind of go into the detail as to what I'm kind of thinking and what I'm expecting. At the moment, nothing's changed. I'm still thinking a Wyckoff distribution. Okay, that's my schematic. I line up, these peaks are lined up very nicely. PSY, BC, AR, ST, sign of weakness, UT and phase B, that's a higher high, all the way down to the AR, find support lines. And now we're kind of somewhere here, we put in this peak, this trough. And now what I'm looking for is up and then grind up, grind up, grind up. Really bullish into your kind of highs here for a nice opportunity to short the market at the highs there for drop, drop, drop. And then guess what, we're going down. Yeah. And I get people will catch this too late because they're going to be really bullish because of the whole crypto mentality is going to be, let's go to the moon now. We're at 107k, 106k. Bitcoin is going to the moon now. This is it. This is the moment of glory. We've all been there. We've all seen it. We've all experienced it. The smart money is going to be selling. Yeah. And this is what I said in my previous streams. every single person, if you get to about 106, 107k, every single person except trap traders who haven't closed their positions, every single person who's ever invested in Bitcoin, including the whole of MicroStrategy and BlackRock, and everyone else is going to be in nice profits. And there's no reason why they don't sell to the Moonboy degens. There's no reason why. There's no reason why you've doubled up your $1 billion or multi-billion-dollar investment portfolio, or tripled up. There's no reason why you wouldn't just use the crypto crowd to exit your risk, to de-risk at the highs. We could totally go and take out the all-time high. Yeah, it doesn't change anything, because we saw that in the last bull market where we took out 3 all-time highs and the price still collapsed. It was here. It was here. 1, 2, another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times. The fourth one, look what happened. It collapsed. So to calculate, we know how many Solana was locked in LP against 500 million, so that's been re-added back to the LP. I mean, you're giving me a lot of fundamentals. I have no idea. You're probably right. I'm not doubting what you're saying. A lot of the time that happens, that gets people really bullish, but the charts are telling me what's happening in the market, what the market's saying. I don't really like I've been bullish on Dtravel and TRVL, and it's all-time lows. So what do? I'm still bullish, but something's wrong. Something else, the market doesn't think so. And if this plays out like this, then the market is saying something else, isn't it? It is just a waiting game. Yeah, 100% a waiting game. But why would you not de-risk if we get a drop down to 7 and start putting back risk on when we come back to support here? Come back to test this. That's the place to put risk on, because at least you have market structure support. At least you have great demand. At least you now have the price at an acceptable level where big investors are going to start buying again. You know, you've got the whole market ready to buy the dip at 70k, haven't you? Whereas I'm not really seeing it at these levels. I still think we have a grind up. I think it is manipulated, but not really manipulated in the sense of, oh, you've got these dark, evil people in these back rooms manipulating the price. This is just the market makers liquidating highly leveraged traders. A lot of high leverage came into these highs to short. It makes perfect sense for them to be liquidated before we drop. Perfect sense. Because they'll get liquidated. You'll get degens, highly leveraged degens come in at the highs, 100x, 50x, whatever. This is the moment of glory. We're going to go to the moon, breakout. And whether we see a swing failure or not, who knows? I like to think no, because it'll be nice for this pattern to play out. The first sign of weakness out, this will dump. The first sign of weakness after we kind of get to those highs, the market's going to completely dump. It might be too late for a lot of people, because they won't be able to pull the trigger, or your altcoins would have pulled back already by 50% or 20% if that happens. The altcoins will obviously dump harder in the first initial dump. So it's just best to de-risk as we go up, wherever you are in altcoins. I've actually transitioned all my altcoins to ETH, apart from TRVL, because we're at the all-time lows. I think ETH, for me, ETH at the moment is at the lows. Why would I not go to ETH? It's at the lows, yeah, against Bitcoin. We've had a capitulation event, so it's a good time to kind of be in ETH after a capitulation, isn't it? That's why I kind of transitioned to ETH. I think if ETH starts moving, it's going to suck liquidity out of all the other coins, especially the ones that are still riding high. And so the ones that I'm kind of focused on are Solana and Sui, and the other kind of high cap big coins. You see, I'm looking at this, I'm not feeling bullish, because we had this 3-day candle, this red one here, and it's extremely bearish. This is an extremely bearish, high volume, went high, closed lower, really bearish candle. You can't buy that candle, dude. There's no way you can buy that candle in the highs. It's just impossible. Even if it goes up, it's going to reverse and drop. So I'd rather be in ETH. This is Sol versus ETH. Yeah. There's no way you can buy this, honestly. It's a really, really, really bearish candle. It's high volume in the highs. This one was bearish too, to be honest with you. So we've got two bearish candles in the highs. The price is just, Sol is now struggling against ETH. It's back into the range. The probability is back down to here. That's the probability against ETH. And if ETH starts to pump, then guess what happens? It really will go down. And the price of Solana will still go up. It just means that we're going to have an ETH pump before we have a final dump, or a big dump, which is great. It's kind of like, that's why I'm kind of in ETH. If I was to go and do, like, say something like that, let me have a look. Binance ETH USD against Bybit SLERF. This is ETH against SLERF, you see? ETH is pumping. Yeah, if I was to do that against any token, let's do SUI. It's bottomed out. It looks like it's bottoming out. Yeah, so you've got signs, you've got signs. ETH is bottoming out against SUI. It's broken this trend, this kind of push down, 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 and now we're just bottoming. We're back above that level. So we could get a nice ETH pump where a lot of value from these tokens gets put back into ETH. That's kind of where my mind's at right now. I'm not 100%, never 100%. That's kind of why I'm kind of, the market's we're going to get a little bit of a relief on altcoins. People are going to be really bullish because ETH is pumping. They're going to think this is it. It's just an opportunity I think it's an opportunity to do risk, personally. Not financial advice. Because I don't want to be responsible for people's investment decisions. This has come down to the one, look, this is against SUI. This is, as far as the ratios are concerned, from there to there to there, it's come down to the 1.618. We lost it for a little bit. Look, we're back above the 1.618. I think this is bottomed out. For me, this is a bottom. We're back above there. Then we'll know. I will know in the future. And the natural target in terms of ratio will be the golden pocket. You know, back up to there. If we get kind of right up to there, if we see that, that'll probably be where ETH tops out. Short so, but like, I mean, Ronnie, I'm not saying short, huh? I'm saying if it goes up and does what I'm thinking, then you could short. You could short now, huh? But what? It's hard to short now. You could short now, but it's hard to short now because we're above this value area low. So it'd be a scalp, if anything. Yeah. I'd like to see how the daily closes. We closed really bad yesterday. If today's a green and tomorrow's a green, then we're actually probably going up. If it closes low over red, then it's probably going lower. It's probably going even lower. Okay, so it's all about a balance of probabilities. I do think we're probably going to snap up when it does happen. And the market always looks bearish before it looks bullish, always does. So right now the market's kind of feeling, I think a lot of people are feeling really bearish. So I'm kind of starting to feel a little bit more bullish. I have to see how this plays out. I'm not 100%. But I think like we are finding a little bit of support here. We have to see how this plays out. ETH has pulled back a little bit. Come back into the local range point of control. no real trades to be had here, to be honest with you, because we're kind of like in the middle of these local ranges. And yeah. Yeah, Sui's looking okay here, to be honest with you. Unicorn fart dust. Oh, okay. Let me have a look at you. Is it on any exchange? Don't know which one to use. Next. I personally will never invest in another meme coin ever again. Personally, I'll scalp it and trade it. I'm never going to invest in any of those shit coins, to be honest with you. I've been burnt too many times in this market with small amounts, but it's just stupid. Honestly, it's a fool's errand. Again, I personally won't. I'm not going to bother with these shit coins. There's no intrinsic value. It's all hype. Could this go up? Sure, it could go up, but not until. I wouldn't buy that. It closed lower. It's at the right place, so the value area low. I'd want to see a reversal. I'd want to see another green daily. Yeah. If I see another green daily and it closes higher, then yeah. Then you have a chance. And then you just have a nice tight invalidation there and it could go up. But otherwise, with something like this, again, it's a bit of a gamble. You kind of wanted, I think I'd want to see it get back above the point of control first, find a little bit of support. But otherwise, I'd want it to take these lows, and which it hasn't done. Like a little swing failure of a red wick. Like if it went down yesterday, tomorrow, took out these lows and closed higher than the low, then yeah, then I could buy that because I have an invalidation. But I can't buy this. I can't buy this candle because it closed lower, and I have no idea about this token, to be honest with you. I can't tell. At the moment, we're seeing a strong downtrend on the 3-day time frame, close lower. So there's no way. When a token closes lower, you can't buy it. Yeah, on every candle time scale. Don't buy candles that close lower. If you see these candles, they're closing lower, don't buy it. You could trade it, but don't buy it. Yeah, because they've closed lower. It means people aren't holding for higher. They're selling for lower. Yeah, so that's the problem you have with these candles. You could argue this is a good place because it's coming back to a monthly kind of level. But you kind of want to look at these candles. You want to look at some kind of reversal, some kind of sign that the closes are now slightly coming up. And I'm not seeing that on any of these time frames. I'm just looking, even the 12-hour close lower. The first indication of reversal here could be if this next 12-hour is green. Yeah, you get another green here, then you could go up, but then you're going up to here. Yeah, you're not going up to the moon. You just got to look at these time frames in context. If that's green by the end of the day here, then there's a chance we can go to here. And that's it. You just got to take it level to level. But I'm not seeing any sign of reversal here at all. Can't see it. Any bullish engulfings? Nope. No bullish engulfing candles. There was one there. There was one here. Why wouldn't the price go all the way back down to there? To test that candle. Hasn't tested it yet. Hasn't tested the base of that candle yet. We've got one here too, so we've got two levels that have to be tested there and there, in my opinion, and then we have to see what happens. If you see that the price is finding support there, that would be a good place to enter. At least you have an invalidation. If the price finds support there, you can't. What can you do with this? You can hope, but why would you buy a downtrend and hope? Yeah, it's just doesn't make sense. Fart coin. Well, fart coin, honestly, I've made good money off fart coin. I've lost money on other coins. Fart coin is one of the coins that I haven't lost money on. I've actually made money on fart coin, but you win and you lose, don't you? Can't do anything with this token. Can't short it. Can't long it. Can't do anything. Shit. The capitulation low, we've gone lower. Shit. It's a shit token. It's a shit coin. Just forget it. Scam coin, if you like. It's a shit coin. Can't short the lows. Can't buy it. We've taken the capitulation low here. So if you want, you have to find a little reversal here. Again, the same thing. Yesterday closed higher than the low. Fine. That's possible. It's possible to long this if we close higher again, you know, and then at least you have an invalidation, because then you're not expecting down, you're expecting a reversal. Yeah, it's possible to long this now. This is possible, but where you just have to have an invalidation here. It's possible. This is possible to long. This is possible to long. Yeah, it's possible to long here. I'd wait for this 2-hour candle to close. Actually, what time is it now? Oh, it's only just turned 2:15, so it's good. That's a bullish engulfing. Yeah, you could long it here, but you just have to have a tight invalidation and get stopped out. US is about to open, so we'll see what happens to US. US has been quite bullish on crypto. That's the trend. So we'll have to see if that continues. I hope it does. I want crypto to go up. You know, I don't just want to be right. I do want to make money in this last up move. I'm not shorting here. I'd rather the price goes up to short. Yeah. It's just I have to see what happens with New York. We're kind of going into oversold here again. It's hard to tell. Let me have a look at the order flow. Maybe get some hints from there. See, we're not getting any bullish divergences anymore. We're getting some bearish divergences as well. And you have to be a little bit hesitant about buying, longing when you're getting some bearish divergences. They're slightly bullish here, very slightly bullish. We're above the VWAP. So at least we're above the VWAP. That generally means that we're bullish if the price is above the VWAP. Okay, so that's good. But you know, the VWAP can be lost. It's not a guarantee. Slight bullish divergence forming here. Very slight. Yeah, very slight. It's definitely not what it used to be. So you could argue that the market is not as strong as it was. We've put some single prints there. That was a big short. It's come back up to test. There's a little buying tail here. So the price should find a little bit of support here. You've got a little buying tail. You've got a VWAP. The price should find a little bit of support here, and then maybe we'll go back up to the point of control and test that a higher little range, the higher of that range again, maybe. Longs closing here, coming into a little bit of support. Let's have a look at ETH. Oof, it's ugly. That's a big ETH, not liquidation, but an ETH position has been closed there. Bit of liquidation there. I like liquidations because that kind of signifies some kind of coming to the bottom of whatever that is. There is bullish absorption on ETH. There's bullish CVD on ETH on this range. You see the CVD's gone lower and the lows are higher. So I'm actually a lot more confident about ETH than I am about any token right now. Just generally speaking, I think ETH is showing the most signs of potential strength. And I don't think anyone I don't think anyone's serious is shorting ETH, because we've already capitulated. You don't really in the bull market look to short after capitulation unless Bitcoin starts to show serious weakness. I would argue that Bitcoin isn't actually showing serious weakness just yet. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. We're kind of oversold right now. We're oversold and we're still above this SR flip. And let me just have a look at ETH BTC. It's a tricky one because you're now, people are thinking, okay, this can go down, which it could. So that would mean Bitcoin's going down if this goes down. Don't know, I'm not 100%. I think I'd like to wait for the New York to open. I'd like to see the Bitcoin daily close. Right now we're looking at a nice bullish day. I'd like to see how that closes. Then I'd like to see another green day tomorrow. This had to be green. Tomorrow it has to be green, really, unless we have a bullish engulfing and then it can be red. And so we just need to get out of here. This is going to take a little bit of time. If we can kind of get out of here, then the market's going to start getting really bullish again. Yeah, so the market's still a little bit shaky just because of what happened on the early hours of Monday, and obviously over the weekend. So we've had this big selling, but generally speaking, I would argue that this is quite a bullish hold for the price, and I think the price really wants to go up, but the market is still kind of a little bit bearish. And that could be the recipe for a short squeeze. If people are like really bearish and they're shorting and then they're shorting and then they're shorting, and then you could get squeezed up. But that is having a detrimental impact on altcoins, massively negative impact on altcoins. Once Bitcoin can kind of solve itself, then again you're going to start seeing altcoins pump. Why? Because people are sitting at the market. They're waiting for a sign of strength. The minute they see it, they're going to start market buying their altcoins. Market buy, market buy, market buy. That's what they do. Yeah, that's why the altcoins pump. They don't pump naturally. They pump because the market's just waiting for Bitcoin to show real strength. In this context, I think a higher high would be it. You kind of need Bitcoin to go right up to there and take out that high. If it can do that, perfect. Then we could, I think you'll start seeing altcoins pump then. Just take out that high. All Bitcoin has to do now is get up to 102.5 if it can. If it can't, then we'll start falling underneath this area, and it's gonna suck, because then you're not looking at a Wyckoff distribution, you're looking at a double top. Okay, and it's just gonna, we don't have the final rally, the final kind of move. I think the context makes me think we probably are going to go up. You know, I've seen Eric Trump posting a lot about shit. You know, why would he be doing that? Huh? Why would he look, in my February, from great opinion to Hadith, feels like a great time to enter BTC 12 hours ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would he be doing that? He's a bit of a fool if he's doing that, and then we're about to see a little bit of a capitulation. He's been buying Ethereum for his new venture, and they're spending a lot of money. Huh? Michael Saylor says no better time. See that? Which is weird because Michael Saylor has stopped buying Bitcoin. Yeah. Look at this. MicroStrategy 2 days ago. MicroStrategy hits the brakes on Bitcoin buying. Yeah. What's going on? First time in 12 weeks. Because we're at the top. We're fucking at the top. That's why, yeah. And some people I know, some significant whales and traders have sold their Bitcoin, yeah. And they're just not willing to take the risk because they're already at a good place. For them, 1,000 here or there doesn't make any difference. And then obviously going back to my Wyckoff analysis, which I did in the stream, which I posted today, go and have a look at it, because I go into depth and I explain that, in my opinion, we've completed 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As far as I can tell, that's enough. We've come to a really good level to find resistance, which is the 618 of a trend-based extension, a trend-based fib, from this yellow line that I drew, this one, there to there to there. That's the 618. I think it's a good place for the price to react and resist, and now go back down. And if I'm correct, and that is the end of the wave, then the next real test is going to be the top of this green one here. If the price finds support there, then we're going to have a really impulsive 5-wave move up to 230,000 probably. That's kind of what I'm thinking for the next big move. It'll be to find support at about 70k area, maybe over a period of 2 weeks also, and then spring right back up, and then up, and then up, for a final blow off top type situation, whenever, by the end of the year. Bit of FOMO. Then all the people say, oh, I told you so, you should have held your Bitcoin, you shouldn't have sold it. That's what they want, no? They want people to say that. But I don't know, I think if it goes up, you'll miss it. But it's so hard when Bitcoin is at all-time highs and altcoins aren't pumping for me to be bullish. Here it was a very different situation. Here we were all-time highs and altcoins were pumping. Here we're all-time highs and altcoins aren't pumping. Here they pumped for a little bit and all the altcoins gave back their gains straight away, pretty much, even ETH, and most of their gains. And so maybe a few like Solana and Sui didn't, but this is the thing, like, you just got to look at the signs of the market and just be realistic about what's going on. Let me have a look at TRVL, because I haven't looked at it since yesterday. I am going to start looking at it again. Why? Because guess what? We're at all-time lows now. This is a question. Are we going to recover? Is it possible? Everything is possible in crypto. You just cannot fade any token in crypto, especially if it's a bullish token. Like, when I say bullish, I mean the fundamentals of the project are bullish. You know, I've been in touch with the Dtravel team. They still exist. They haven't run away. There's not a rug pull. It's not a rug pull, but this is a sign of weakness. Okay, there's no way to mince words. This is a sign of weakness, taking out the all-time low on the shared exchange list. We haven't actually hit the all-time low yet. So if you combine the data from all the exchanges, we're still okay. We're still holding an all-time low, but because of the illiquid nature of certain exchanges like MEXC, we've already put an all-time low there, and not on KuCoin yet. On Bybit, we've put in an all-time low by a fraction. Okay, and the problem with this price action is that there's fucking ever-increasing volume into the lows. That generally can indicate some kind of spring. If Bitcoin and Ethereum and the rest of the market starts to kind of go up, that could indicate, oh, the low is in now, let's buy. But the reality is that this volume is terrible. If it was low volume, I'd be like, okay, no worries. But this is just people exiting. They're people just dumping their tokens now. All right, they're not looking for higher. If you were thinking higher, you wouldn't dump. But if you're dumping, you're not thinking higher anymore. You're just not interested. Yeah, you're losing interest in this token. You're probably, when you sell, you're thinking lower. When you buy, you're thinking higher. That's just the way it works. And it's hard to recover from these big, giant, mega bearish candles. I wouldn't mind if we had a few smaller ones, because you can recover from those better, easier. It's hard. I think the problem, I think for anyone who's in TRVL, if you're looking to buy, I don't see why you shouldn't. You know, nothing's really changed at all. And maybe some things should change, and I've indicated what I would like to see changed in the past. And you know, but the reality is, just from a technical perspective, you can always buy the all-time low, just in the same way that you can always sell the all-time highs. It's not a problem to buy an all-time low. It's a good place to dollar cost average into the all-time low. Yeah, it's always a good place to, just like it's always good to sell the all-time high, it's always good to buy the all-time low. Sometimes it takes time to reverse. Yeah, don't expect a quick reversal. But if people are looking for confirmation of a significant shift in direction, then you need to take out the lower high at 2.9 cents. With a market structure change, it requires an up, a higher low, and a higher high. It requires something like that. You need to go up and put in a higher high there, a higher low here somewhere, and you need to take out the original high that you've put for another higher high. Okay, and it can happen anytime, anywhere. You just look for it. You just have to look for it. Look for that market structure change. Most of the time when it happens, it's just really bearish, but it takes time to happen. That every time that we've bottomed out, we had a market structure change. Even if you didn't catch the all-time low, you could have caught the pullback quite close to where the low was, with confidence that the market structure was trying to change. In this context, see that lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low. As soon as you take out the high, that's confirmation, and the price starts to trend up. Yeah, so you're just trying to change the trend. Okay, same thing happens to this. You have a lower high, a lower low, or actually slightly lower, lower low, lower high. So lower high, lower low. That's your higher high. This is your higher low. So you can come in for the higher low speculatively, and then confirmation is taking out the high from market structure change. And when the change happened, the confirmation, the price of TRVL went 48%. In this context, when the change happened, it was somewhere here. The price went up 230%. In this context, when the change happened here, it went up like 350%. Yeah, so I think what we're expecting with TRVL is about at least a 200% increase in value when we get market structure change. That's what history tells us. So do you try and buy now, preempting it, or do you just wait for the change? I would argue wait for the change. Okay, because that way you can stay safe and be, it's good to be safe with your value. That being said, and this is what you have to understand. Let me go to my other chart when it comes to TRVL. It's always good to buy the all-time low. Yeah, we're kind of at the value area low. It looks like we're losing it, but we kind of look like we were losing it before. In the same way, if we went to the all-time high, like 1.56, it would be a great place to sell. So it's a great place to buy the all-time low. It's always a great place to sell the all-time high. Those are just two really good places to buy and sell. Does that make sense? Just really good places to buy and sell. And that's what I'm suggesting. I'm not saying just ape in and just, you know, and don't think about your risk. You know, have correct risk management, you know, but it's never a bad place. Like if you're bullish on TRVL and Dtravel on the long term, higher time frame, if you're dollar cost averaging in to this token on the higher time frame, you've basically, what's happened is we've come to the bottom of the range. This is a range and we've come to the bottom now. I don't know if we're going to go lower. I can't tell you that. Yeah, it always looks bad before it starts to go up. It always looks really like it every single time. Yeah, every single time that the price was at the lows, it looked like it wanted to go lower. It looked like it wanted to, we lost this low. It looked like it wanted to go lower. That was an all-time low there. This was an all-time low, all-time low, all-time low. This was a higher low, but it still looked like it wanted to go lower. It was a really great place to buy. In hindsight, when you're looking at this, it looks like a really great place to buy. I can tell you right now that we're in oversold territory. Yeah, we're very oversold. I don't know. It's a tricky one because I don't know if it's just going to bounce up. So I'm not saying you should just kind of take a large position here, but you could start to dollar cost averaging into TRVL. And the best strategy would be, if we are like, no one really knows what's going to happen. Could it go low? Of course it could. But remember, it's a very illiquid token, and so it's going to be very difficult for people to build a large position without moving the price to the upside. But at the lows, you can do it. At the lows, you can scale in and catch the lows, catch the low, dollar cost average into the low. So however low it gets, you can dollar cost average into the low. You'll end up with a average low position, okay, wherever it is, down here or up here, it doesn't really matter. And then in the future, if and when we get a mega Bitcoin pump, then we're going to the moon, right? Now, the other thing you could do if you want to be completely safe and risk adverse is just wait for Bitcoin to capitulate. You know, that would be also a strategy. And just wherever Bitcoin capitulates, you just have to buy it then, huh? You just have to buy the low. The problem is that if you're bullish on TRVL, we do really want to defend the low a little bit. We don't want to just let the price drop because of the downward momentum. And ultimately, it's about supply and demand. The problem we have is that the momentum, at the moment, the problem is that the momentum, not a problem, it's a good thing. The weekly momentum is flat, which is good. So that generally for me indicates that we will spring back up eventually. But what we don't want to do is linger down in the lows for too long and let the momentum to start turning to the downside. Okay. You can see on the lower time frames, maybe not, because it's printing. You can see how the momentum is now starting to trend down. We're having a cross, a death cross on the 3-day time frame. It's pretty bearish. It's hard to not be bearish because the last time we had the death cross, it was there. Last time we had death crosses there, and it didn't. Every time we had that death cross, it didn't indicate the bottom. There was still more to come. Okay, so it's very hard to defend TRVL when we're seeing these signs of weakness. Okay, so I'm not like telling people buy, we're going to the moon. But I do think it's a good place to just pick up some if you haven't got any. Just start exposing yourself a little bit, and then start building a position. Because fundamentally, Dtravel is a good bet, but maybe because of crypto and the rest of crypto, we're struggling with the momentum, and that's basically where we're at now. Now, can things change? Sure, they can totally change. How can they change? Well, I've submitted ideas which would transform the value aspect of TRVL. And the feedback is that they're seriously contemplating my ideas. Personally, I think to restore confidence and trust, because a lot of people have left and sold. Personally, I think there has to be more of a significant shift in many aspects of Dtravel, including the way it's governed and the way it's led, or even the leadership itself. That's what I think. I think it's going to be very difficult to attract people who have left because they've lost confidence if we don't have a massive shake-up And you know, oftentimes businesses or companies, or they struggle, and then you do have that kind of a shake up. Like look at Elon Musk buying Twitter, and then look how he's been able to transform it. The change of leadership can change things significantly, but that you can't just, it's not just on its own due to tokenomics. I don't know if people are going to have confidence in the current administration, so to speak. And actually, I think my perspective has always been that it should be a DAO, and I've also suggested ideas how it could run as a DAO. But you see, this is the thing. Ultimately, the crypto markets have changed. There's so many coins out there, so many shit coins, so many rug pulls. People are losing confidence in certain aspects of crypto, and they're now transferring their value back to the larger coins, the larger projects, the blue chips. Effectively, what's happening is that the blue chips are drawing all of the liquidity. So what we need to do as a small startup type Web3 type DAO is we need to go back to the fundamentals and the principles of what could make DAOs strong, and that is decentralized governance and giving value to the token economics that we are trying to create, which doesn't happen right now in the current plan. And these are massive shortfalls that I've identified and I've highlighted in the past. And so I'm still here, I'm still streaming. Someone said in my stream, what did he say? He I'll post it for you to see. What can I say? I mean, I don't really have, I can't really argue with certain aspects of his sentiment. Latest trends, TRVL is a dead coin. I'm surprised you still have it in your video title. Well, just because you think it's a dead coin doesn't mean it can't be revived and resurrected. And so even though I don't get paid, and never got paid by Dtravel, never made any money from Dtravel, to be honest with you. In fact, I've lost money and time, but I still believe in the core tenets of a decentralized or autonomous organization and an ecosystem or an economy based on TRVL, which rewards actions, positive actions, which relate to travel, primarily renting and visiting, traveling and hosting. I still believe in that, and I think that is part of what we need to change in Dtravel, and then also part of what we need to change, in my opinion, is the leadership. I think you can't possibly think that the leadership is on the right track if we just keep on putting all-time lows. It's just not, it just doesn't make any sense. Lower highs, lower lows in a bull market. It's got nothing to do with the rest of the market. Anyone saying this is the market, it isn't, because what we're experiencing here is a massive sell-off with no demand, and this just shows you that the market doesn't accept or isn't interested. Most of the people who are investing in these altcoins are speculating for higher prices. I accept that, but the fundamentals of what makes a project like Dtravel succeed is a core community that grows and fundamentally sees the vision and the long-term value of the token in the token economy that's being built, and they're the ones who actually buy every time the price dips. And if you were to create that community, that passionate, fanatic community, based on the value that's being created within the ecosystem and the value that's being extracted from the real world and brought into the ecosystem, then you're never going to see this kind of price action, because every dip is an opportunity to buy more, because there's value that's given to the token itself. And so until we kind of shift our vision from the roots and start going in a different direction, I think fundamentally, and for me, the litmus test is the ability to attract people we've lost. So I've seen a lot of people that I know personally we've lost them. They've lost confidence, and primarily for me, that's the test. Like, there's no point us changing certain aspects throwing out a few staking pools and hoping the price is going to, it's all hopium. I think what we need to do is a much bigger revival, a much bigger kind of reorganization of the way we approach this. And that's kind of where I'm at with Dtravel. I'm still here. I'm still kind of, it's not hopium. I'm still working hard to push my ideas. And ultimately, if there, you know, whenever it comes, I know I'm right, because I warned Dtravel about the price action. I warned them about so many things, and unfortunately I wasn't listened to. Now they're listening to me a little bit, but the reality is that now there needs to be a change of leadership. You can't just listen to me at the last pass at the lows and then say, now we're listening to you, let's see if we can fix this, when most of the people who are true believers or core the faithful have gone. It's just, you know, it's just not acceptable. I think what people need is we need to restore confidence to the people who have left, and then after that we can address the challenges with giving TRVL intrinsic value connected to our peer-to-peer real-world application. I think the days of building a blockchain-based project and expecting the price to moon is gone, is over. Okay, I don't think we're in that situation anymore. The market cycle is very different now. People are using these shit coins effectively to pump and dump, to grind more Bitcoin, which is what we've been seeing across the board. I think TRVL is still showing resilience, you know, because a lot of tokens have just gone down and down and down, and whereas actually we've just been range bound for a long period of time. But the problem is that right now at the lows, everyone feels underwater. Everyone is underwater. That's the problem. Yeah, that time when the price went up, I think a lot of people used as a chance to exit, and then there was no buyback because there was no confidence or interest in the token anymore. It's got nothing to do with the wider market. You can argue the market has been struggling, but this is a sell-off. The way I'm looking at the price action, there's no buybacks here. It's just a sell-off. Yeah, there's no interest. Okay, that's just the fundamental reality that we have to face with the price action. And anyone who comes to you or comes to me and starts saying something else, it's fucking lying. They're lying to themselves, and then they're lying to you, basically. That's kind of where we're at. I think the leadership needs to change. Yeah, I'll be calling for the leadership to change completely. The structure has to change. The leadership has to change. They need to get out of their echo chambers, and they need to start listening to the community. We need to build it based on a community. We need to build it based on a fanatical community who believes in rewarding travel, rewarding people who post, rewarding people who travel, rewarding people who invest in travel, in the DAO, in the decentralized autonomous. Or you reward them, and guess what happens? People start buying back in. But the problem now is that a lot of people have lost confidence in the current direction that we're heading, and there's no way to kind of critique without fudding. But I'm not fudding, because there is a silver lining. There's a massive silver lining. I'm still here. I'm here trying my best to revive this this project. A lot of people could say, oh well, let it go down, it's going to come back eventually. That's not true. If we start to go down and start putting volume down here, the problem in that situation is that you're going to have a lot of trapped liquidity, and it's going to make it very difficult to go up. And in the context, it's an assumption, but it's not true. Yeah, it'll be very difficult to clear the trapped liquidity, because a lot of people, and by then the momentum will be really strongly to the downside, and the momentum is going to will struggle, will just form a lower range, and in the context of a bull market, we'll just really struggle to get out of here. Yeah, it'd be very difficult to get out of here. Solana, you're here. Well, I don't know. I mean, as always, the markets look bearish. Let's have a look. I haven't really looked at Bitcoin. Oh, that's a big volume there. Shit. Let's have a look at that volume. I mean, ETH is showing a bullish divergence here, isn't it? There's a big, I think this is quite stronger. Look at that volume, and there's no bullish divergence on Bitcoin, just on ETH. ETH is showing bullish divergences. There's a big sell here. Big sell here. Minus 2.5 million. Decreasing on some longs coming in here. We're at previous day value area high. I don't know. I'm not. Nothing's different from yesterday, Solana. To be honest with you, I don't feel any different from yesterday. If you caught my yesterday stream, I still think this Wyckoff. I still think Wyckoff. It's going to be harder. It's going to be quite difficult because the market's going to be shaky. But then let's see how this plays out. Let me just have a look at ETH BTC. Oh, ETH BTC's dropped right back down. Let's have a look at Solana quickly. Oof, Solana is struggling a little bit. Solana actually did it closed lower yesterday, so that was quite bearish. Today, I don't really want to close lower today. If it closes lower, then I'll be still thinking there's possible downside. Like, we're really quite shaky here on Solana at the moment. But on the weekly time frame, if we just close higher than the previous week low, then we could go up next week. Yeah, so we're in a good territory to reverse, potentially to go up. Doesn't change anything with my idea of a topping formation here, a diamond formation, but it's hard to know if this is going to happen until we go up. Yeah, if we go up, then I'll know. At the moment, it doesn't look like it's happening, but it always kind of feels really bearish before it becomes bullish. Yeah, and so I don't think it's a good idea to short into the value area low of this kind of local range. I think it's a really bad idea to sell here. But the other thing that I want you to kind of share, which I shared earlier, was that Solana is looking quite weak against Ethereum. We had a really bearish 3-day candle print. It went higher and it closed lower. It's a really bearish 3-day candle. So I would argue that it's probably better to be in ETH at the moment in this context. Okay, and it's just what I'm seeing in the candles. We've got two really bearish candles on the 3-day time frame, one there, one here. These are really bearish candles in these highs, and it does suggest that against ETH we're going lower. You've got kind of areas where the price could find support if we do go down. You know, you've got these kind of moving averages. Momentum is still to the upside strong, but at the moment we're kind of trying to find acceptance into the value area here against ETH, which possibly means we're heading down to the point of control. That's possibly what could happen. It's never going to go in a straight line, but the reality is that at the moment it's not looking great against ETH. I think of all the tokens minus Bitcoin, ETH is probably looking the best, but only because it capitulated against Bitcoin. The 3-day candle on ETH closed higher, so I like that close. I don't think this next 3 days it's going down now, but I think we'll probably end up higher. Generally, that's what happens when you close higher. It's not really looking to go down. It kind of goes down and it comes back up. So I think whatever happens, we're going to come back up. Right, yesterday we had a really nice bullish engulfing candle. Right now we're coming in to test the lows. It's a tricky one, because what do you do? Do you buy? Do you sell? Do you dump? It's a hard one, I think when people short, it seems like they're making a lot more money in this market. Shorting seems to be much more lucrative, much more profitable than longing in this market at the moment. Feels really bearish. Longing isn't working, is it? It's like shorting is working, but we have to see because we had this capitulation, so people are bearish, aren't they? This is, yeah, this isn't looking good at the moment. Yeah, just have to see what happens. I'd like to see how the daily closes. It's always hard to prejudge what's happening when New York has just opened. New York sometimes likes to push the price down and then reverse it. It's always, so it's very hard to judge based on this kind of price action, you know. We have to see what happens at the end of the day. I see that there's bullish absorption on ETH, so I like that. But, you know, everything else is just kind of struggling, like really struggling. Maybe arguably SUI is not struggling as much, but look, Solana, look, it's right back down to 195. What's going on? The market is rejecting crypto, huh? The market doesn't like it. But I think we're at the point where we could grind up. I'm still on the same page. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens by the end of the week. Yeah, I want to see ETH BTC close higher than the previous week. That will be, for me, that would be a really important sign. Yesterday we had a bullish engulfing. I wouldn't mind a kind of a strong close on ETH BTC today, to be honest with you. I don't want this to just be kind of like another fake bullish engulfing candle type like this one. This, well, not that wasn't one. Which one was it? This one here. That's also a bullish engulfing here. This one. You see how it rejected with that red one, and then you kind of it couldn't get back above, and it went down. So I do want to see some strength here on this today, and I really want this ETH BTC candle to close above there. That's really what I'm looking for. So I'd like to see the close. At the moment, it's looking really bearish. A lot of volume coming in here, and there's a little bit buying here. So that suggests that there's a lot of ETH being bought. So I feel like ETH is actually strong, even though it looks pretty miserably weak right now. And Bitcoin is pulling back. Shit. Where is it? Where is Bitcoin? That's a really bearish 30-minute candle. What time is it now? Yeah, it's really bearish. Bearish engulfing. Look, it's there's no high volume bearish engulfing. It has to close higher, to be honest with you. Really bearish, huh? It's really bearish. I have to see what happens. It always looks bearish. I don't know. I haven't got the answer, to be honest with you. The momentum is really, really, really bad, and we just need to change it. So again, it could just go down and up. It could just grind down and up, get people bearish, go up, get people bullish, go down, get people bearish, go up. It's really hard to trade without just scalping or taking profit, and that's really what's happening. People are selling and they're taking profit, they're buying and they're taking profit, they're not holding on to their positions. I'm kind of still thinking we go up, but let's see what happens. I don't know. I have no idea. I think it'd be really crazy if we start going down on crypto and you've got Trump pumping crypto. It'd be really unusual, but it would still be unusual if crypto dumps at the end of the month. It would make no difference. It just makes more sense that we go up. But I mean, Hopium is a thinger. Right now, this isn't looking great, is it? It would look even worse if we close over a red day. If we close over a red day and we close lower, then we're fucked. Crypto's fucked. This is basically going all the way down. And so you can see there's quite a lot of selling. What time is it now again? Yeah, that's a bearish engulfing candle. So this is really bearish. That's a really bearish candle there. Some really bearish. Look at that volume, though. Shit. That's really bearish. I'd like to see what happens at the end of the day, huh? I'd like to see that. Let's have a look at Solana again. Oof. Wow, look at that. Big dump. We're at the 50 fib, but the way the price has come hard into it doesn't give me confidence that we're going to hold, but we have to see. So we've gone from the 382, we lost the 382, we're down to the 50 fib. The best place for this token will be the golden pocket, and that requires Solana to go down all the way down another 3 or 4% around that area. That's the best place, but then maybe it just needs to bottom out. It looks really bearish, huh? But maybe not. Maybe it's not as bearish as we think. I'm just looking at the structure here. You've got a lower low here, lower low. Yeah, I mean, we've got a V-shaped recovery here. 50. This is the right place to find support. If it goes down lower, then I think this is in trouble. To be honest with you, usually with V-shaped recovery, 50% is the right place, which is here. And as you can see here, before we had all of these buying tails. Yeah, so there's a lot of buying, and you kind of need to hold this area, to be honest with you. You could go down here, but then the next kind of move up, you know, it's now we're losing levels, so we're losing kind of important areas. That's not good. Even though down here would be a good place, the problem is you've cleared a lot of the liquidity here, and then there's like literally no liquidity left. I think this needs to find support here, to be honest with you. If we're going to see it, it has to be here. Everything is just falling flat. And so what you have now is you have Bitcoin basically driving down the price, literally driving down the price. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Point of control. Can we find support there? That's kind of what we want, huh? We want to find support on this point of control. That's at 97,256. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Do you see Solana Torta? I mean, look, right now Bitcoin is shaking the market. Yeah, it has been for weeks. Like, not really, it's been shaking the market. People are scared, huh? I think Solana is in a diamond pattern. Doesn't mean we can't go down to go up again. That would be another 10% drop. Generally, usually when I see this kind of shape, this pattern here is usually the apex of a diamond. But confirmation for me would be to go up, huh? Until it goes up, it's hard to know if we're in that kind of pattern or not. That would basically lead us to kind of around 247 area if it happens, if it played out, just to put a lower high at the top of that area. There's no way that this is going to pump until Bitcoin pumps, but when I look at this kind of move down, 1 2 3 4 5, I mean, it feels like it's done, huh? Like, how many waves are we going to have? It's possible to just, can we just keep on going? I don't know. We're coming into some important support levels at the bottom of this range. We're range bound. We've rejected from the point of control here, and this local point of control at 216. And now we're coming to the bottom of the range. Do we find support? You'd think yes, but it's, until it happens, it's impossible to know. Yeah. And what you're experiencing now is, again, it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin just needs to show strength. Like, it literally, Bitcoin is shaking the market. And until we see some kind of signs of actual strength, we're just not, no one's going to feel good, literally. Yeah. And the problem is, every time we go up, we come right back down. Every time we go up, we come right down. Like, kids, we're just not non-stop shaking the market. When Bitcoin is like this, just altcoins will all struggle. They'll all struggle when Bitcoin is like this. It's not showing strength, it's not showing weakness. It's kind of really volatile, going up and down, and it's not you're not feeling bullish in Bitcoin. People only really speculate with altcoins when Bitcoin feels or is feeling bullish. Basically, that's when altcoin starts to kind of go up. Because that's when people start to buy altcoins. Yeah, when Bitcoin, they don't buy altcoins when Bitcoin is bearish. They buy altcoins when Bitcoin is bullish. They start market buying, and that's when you get the pump. Let's see what happens. It's looking pretty miserable, huh, at the moment. But what do you do? Do you buy? Do you sell? I'm inclined to just wait for the daily time frame to close, the daily, to see what happens at the end of the day. That's kind of where I'm at, and we may see continued weakness to fill this wick all the way down, to fill this wick on Solana. That would be similar to ETH BTC going down to fill this wick. And that would be similar to a lot of things, a lot of coins going down to fill this wick, fill their wicks. It's quite unusual because of all the coins, I think ETH is showing the most strength besides Bitcoin, and that can mean a couple of things. That can mean that crypto is really weak and it's really wants to dump again, but ETH is already dumped, so there isn't really much range in ETH dumping, is there? It's like another 21%, and the rest wants to dump more. Or it could mean that actually ETH is looking to go up, okay, when ETH finds strength against Bitcoin. But the problem is, I mean, I don't think it's a problem. We're above the point of control of the range. We just need to find support. That's all. Just needs to find, the price just needs to stop going down, and if we can just find support here, we're fine. We're literally fine. And the market, like, we're literally on the point of control, huh? Now we've washed it a few times, we're on the point of shot. I don't know why the market is behaving so erratically. And then Ali Hash was saying, oh yeah, it's the market makers, they're just manipulating, they're shaking out the market. Maybe it is the market makers. Maybe they're playing bad. See, look, we're above the point of control. I don't know how you could be bearish when we're still above it. But we do want to see some bullish divergences, and if we don't see that, it does indicate that the buying has stopped. Are we seeing it? No, we're not seeing bullish divergences anymore. Yeah. So we just have to see what happens next. Huh? We just kind of it's a hard one, huh? It's a tricky one. I'd like to see how the day closes, and I'd like to see that's really important. It always feels bearish before it becomes bullish. Always. I can see longs are closing here. Look, this is longs closing. You've got shorts entering higher up. Shorts are entering here. Now you've got longs closing. So longs have been trapped, and now longs are market selling. So the price came up. People were really bullish, buying, and now you get like trap traders in the highs, and the shorts are coming in, and now they're pushing the price down. We had a little bit of bearish divergence a bit earlier on up here, and when the CBD was going up, the price was going down, and now you can see the whole market is starting to feel bearish. Oh, hey mate, how's it going? So again, I'm not 100% about anything. It feels bearish, huh? It's the truth. But what do you do? Do you buy? Or do you sell? Well, I would argue nothing. You can't do anything right now. You just have to just be patient and see what happens. Can't do anything. It was a lot easier to buy last night when I set up because of the way the daily closed. It went all the way up to the previous day high, and that was a big take profit, and now the price is going back down. Okay, so last night when I said now up, it went up, didn't it? In Discord, look, went up. It went up. How much did it go up? 2.5%. And same on ETH. And now we're getting a pullback because people are taking profit. Okay, I think ETH is actually showing bullish divergence, and so that's what makes me more interested in ETH than anything. Let me go and show you. We're getting bullish divergence in ETH across this whole range. It's not, yeah, you see it. So we're putting higher lows, lower CBD. We had a little liquidation here. I would argue that ETH is still stronger. I think it's weird. I don't think the market is shorting ETH. Maybe they are, but because of this capitulation on ETH, you know, that's a really high volume candle, which just shows you support. These kinds of candles. I mean, this one's a green one. This is better. This is basically telling me that's where my support line is. 25 or so, 2600. Just because the price has gone down and it can't get through, it's just come right back up and it's closed higher. Yeah, so that's a massive liquidation, high volume, and it couldn't go down. It couldn't go down. Yeah. And now what we're experiencing, I don't think we experienced a dead cat. We had a nice bounce, a strong bounce. Now we're just kind of seeing what happens next. The price is dropping off. I mean, the volume is dropping off. So it does suggest that this price is consolidating for what happens next. And arguably, because we found support, you would like to think that the next direction is up, not down. But if the price now starts going down and we start losing that level and we're going down, this is going to be really bearish. We start feeling it, and it would just be potentially you'll be stuck here and you'd have to get out. You'd have to get out. Yeah, there's no way to get out easily. You could reject and go up, but you don't want to just fall into this area and find acceptance into this void, because that would be weak. That would be like there's no interest. I mean, that was quite strong support. Huh? There's a lot of buying, and so at the moment, what I'm looking at on ETH, I mean, really, I'm looking at ETH more than anything, because the minute we start seeing ETH go weak again, then I think it's game over, basically. Yeah. I said other altcoins I understand, you know, and that's why I kind of put everything into ETH, because ETH is at the moment showing a bit more strength, but everything is weak. Like, I'm looking at all the coins on my phone. Even Solana is showing weakness. Fuck a duck. So even the Solana degens aren't happy with buying Solana at $195. Can you imagine? Solana degens aren't buying Solana at $195. What does that mean? That basically is just telling you that they're just waiting for Bitcoin to settle, basically. And I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind if Bitcoin just settles down and just finds support. But at the moment, we're not even getting bullish CVD absorption, so it's a tricky one. I mean, it's oversold. It's oversold in the daily time frame. We had a nice close on the 3-day time frame yesterday. The weekly looks like it wants to go down, but it's lagging, so it's hard to know. I think we are topping out though on Bitcoin now. It looks like it. Maybe I should do some more bullish videos and get people to buy. Do you think that will help? I don't know. Yeah, look at these candles. Yes. Dude, the shakeout's continuing, so I mean, what can I say? That's a hard, you know, this Bitcoin weekly candle, it's a really hard one if it's a really hard candle. If it's a indecision candle, really difficult candle, because I mean, it's going to literally shake out. If we end up with Bitcoin with a weak indecision, and I don't know how it's going to be, you don't want it to close lower. That would be really bearish. If you end up with an indecision doji like this, then probably next week you're going up and you're in that range. Then you could go down again. Like, it's going to get really shaky, you know, like you could have like one last breakout. Like, it's going to be really difficult for the crypto market. It's just not what you want to see, to be honest with you. That's really what's happening. This indecision, that's an indecision at the moment. We're in an indecision situation with Bitcoin. Right in the middle. Doesn't know if it wants to go up, doesn't know if it wants to go down. And we want clarity. We need clarity. Ideally what we need is this weekly time frame candle to close above that previous week low, like a really nice green candle. Ideally a strong green candle, like a piercing. If that happens, then I think the market's gonna start feeling a little bit more bullish, and you could start seeing some more buying. But until you see, that's a bearish engulfing weekly, which is now we've gone up to the top, we've tested the top, so it's reacted. We're right back down to the bottom of this previous week, basically at the weekly close, and the selling is continuing. If the selling continues and it pushes it, and this is what we're going to see, that by the end of the week we're going to see if we close down here or not. We're going to see if there's bullish, what happened. And really at in the current trajectory, it's difficult to predict. Yeah, very difficult to predict. On this type of candle, do you sell or do you buy it? It's a hard one. I mean, you kind of think possibly it's going to go up, possibly, and then tomorrow we'd have to see. Like, we want green, and tomorrow we want another green, and then we want a green. Yeah, we need greens. We need greens. Green. We need green, or just straight up. We need to go straight up like that. That's what we need. And then you could, if you go straight up, you're still going down the next day. You know, so you're still kind of here in this situation, grinding up. But that's kind of what we need. That, I don't know. I don't really know how we're going to get our altcoins to recover where we are now, to be honest with you. Let's see what happens. A little sign of strength is all the market needs. All right, I'm not going to stay on. Oh, cheers. All right, I'm not going to stay on for that long anymore because I want to go and have some lunch. I've been streaming enough. I mean, I think ETH is still showing strength. I'm getting some selling here. It's a tricky one. Here, look, ETH is right back at the low of the previous day. Oof, Sui, it's gone up and it's come all the way down. Just have to see what happens. Oh, fuck, a duck. All right, guys, I'm going to go and get some lunch. And I might stream later on tonight for a late night chill, end of day. See where we're going to end up. It's not looking good, huh? It really isn't looking good. I can't lie. It's a hard one to fix without seeing signs of reversal. It's a hard one to fix. Yeah, it's a difficult one. It's not looking good, which is weird because Bitcoin is above the point of control, huh? But we need the price to find support here. So this is going to be really important. It's going to be really critical to see what happens at this level. If we can get to just find support, then we have a chance. Huh? We have a chance, and we have to. The market has to see it. The market has to feel it. All right, I'm gonna go. Take care, guys. Well, I posted the video today about my Elliott wave analysis, and so if you haven't watched it, you should probably go and watch that, and then you'll have an idea about what I'm thinking. All right, take care. All right, have a good evening. See ya.